All right, guys, recap of what happened at UFC Qatar. Before I start talking about it, please like and subscribe to my channel. I want 100 subscribers by the end of the month. That'll be that'll make me very happy, right? And that's I'm 2 away from that. So if you guys can do that, I'll be appreciated. But I'm going to talk about this prelims and this main card and the early prelims. I literally was up at 7 a.m. That's when the fight happened. I was watching this with one eye because I was half asleep watching this fight, right? The Denzel Freeman versus Aliev fight, and versus Bujlo fight. I was literally with one eye open watching this fight, and I literally was so pissed off that I did not fall back asleep and just wait until the next fight, which was Aliev versus Shemrock, because this fight was an actual joke. Nobody did anything for the first 2 rounds. The third round, Denzel Freeman won pretty clearly, but for the first 2 rounds, nobody did anything. These guys were fighting scared. Denzel Freeman, who's a wrestler, doesn't want to wrestle. Bujlo, who's a grappler, doesn't want to grapple. Like, these guys, I don't understand what they were doing. I don't understand what was going on. Denzel Freeman, maybe it was a jet lag for him. And Bujlo has no excuse. He lives in Europe, which is pretty close to Qatar anyways, probably like 6-7 hours flight. And Freeman, who is a good fighter, like, he's a decent fighter. That's not a performance you want. Like, in Dana White Contender Series, both you guys will be just never should be showing your face again. Like, they should be released after this. It was embarrassing. But the first round, Michael Bisping was like, "You guys have to do something," because they were just standing at each other, and not even in range, just staring. It was embarrassing to watch. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I think that both these guys should get cut, honestly. But it was 3 rounds. Denzel Freeman won. I picked Denzel Freeman, but I'm actually really pissed off that I missed sleep. And the worst part is, I was like, did I miss anything? Because I was half asleep. I was half dead. I went back to watch it 15 minutes ago. I'm like, why the fuck am I rewatching this fight? This fight was so bad. And I remembered how bad it was. Next, Aliev versus Shemrock, right? Aliev won this fight 30-27 pretty clearly. He was the better fighter. He was the better striker. He was the better grappler. He tried to grapple early. He tried to take him down early. It didn't work. Shemrock had good takedown defense, but Aliev was like, fuck it, I'll just strike with you. And he struck with him and was dominating in the strike. And the two could not miss. He was landing the two whenever he wanted. He was just that good. He was just that good at freaking landing that two. As Shamrock could not move his head off the center line for it. And he wobbled him in the first round. I think the second round as well. But he wobbled him. And Aliev started getting fatigued in the third round. Shamrock mounted him at one point, and people thought the tides were turning. Aliev basically put his foot on the cage, used the cage as leverage, and swept him. Got back on his feet, just out jabbing him, winning the fight again. Aliev looked good. Aliev looked better than I thought he was going to. I know Aliev's a good grappler, but I didn't know he had this much decent striking. Like, he has good timing. He's a decent striker. And Shamrock, he's not a decent striker. He's not UFC caliber level of striker, but his grappling is good. So, and apparently his wrestling is good too, because he stopped Aliev from many takedowns, 1 for 9 or 1 for 5. Next is the fake Moroccan Naurdiev, right? I say fake Moroccan because he's not from there. He just trains there, but I like him because, you know what? He got a knockout today versus Ryan Loder. Ryan Loder is not a fighter. I said this in my breakdown and predictions. I said he is not a fighter. He's just not a fighter, right? If you're not a fighter, then you shouldn't be in the sport. And he's a good wrestler. Maybe do real American freestyle wrestling over there, that with Kurt Angle and those guys, and Hulk Hogan, who died. But like, those people, Eric Bischoff, do not do MMA. It's not a sport for you. You can't take a punch, and that's just what it is. You can't take a punch. Bakoev knocked you out quickly, and you can say, "Oh, Bakoev is good." Naurdiev knocked you out pretty quickly, right? The first significant punch he threw landed and knocked him out. Ryan Loder was trying to show off his new striking. He's been striking a lot now, and that was a really bad decision. He should be grappling every single time, 24/7 for 15 minutes straight. Shouldn't be doing anything else besides grappling. Naurdiev threw a nice overhand, knocked him out. He just one shot KO. He didn't need to follow up. The ref shoved him aside before following up. Good for him. But again, Ryan Loder is not a fighter. Naurdiev, good win, but he's not a fighter. Almakhan versus Topuria. Topuria, he won this fight. Yes, I agree. I thought he won 29-28. I thought that Almakhan won the first round. I thought he was doing well for the first 3 minutes, but Almakhan was doing well only because he was standing in the middle of the octagon. When he stands in the middle of the octagon, when he's trading in combinations, not single shots, he's winning the exchanges, because Topuria, he covers up in a high guard and he just backs up in a straight line. No counters. He throws no counters whatsoever. He's here. You throw something to him. He blocks, high guard every single time. You need to throw one. At first he was throwing the one uppercut hook. That's what Almakhan was throwing. The one, the uppercut, and the hook. Same side, right? And that was working. Then Topuria was just backing up in a straight line. Almakhan did that again. He stopped backing up. Topuria stopped backing up. Almakhan grabbed double unders on Topuria. Topuria countered with a head throw and got him down, took him down. And I was like, oh my goodness. Almakhan basically got up later on and started skirting around the octagon because Almakhan realized that the grappling difference is huge and he doesn't want to be grappling with him and he doesn't want to be stuck in the middle of the cage with him if he gets taken down. He ended up getting mounted at one point. In the second round, he got taken down again. But afterwards, he was pretty good about his takedown defense. Missed 5, Topuria did. But Topuria just walked him down and that jab was working. I don't think comparing to his double champ brother is crazy, but he's not as good as his brother. People want to say he is, but he's not as good as his brother. You could tell the difference. You could tell that he doesn't have that KO power, right? I know he knocked down Almakhan twice, but it took 2 clean, solid punches, overhands, to land on the button just to barely knock him down, right? Put one hand on the canvas. That's basically what happened. Didn't even score a knockdown here on ESPN. So Topuria, that style works. That boxing style works when you have heavy hands, and Topuria doesn't have heavy hands, and he backs up in a straight line. Maybe that's because of sparring his brother so much, who was very powerful and it's hard to counter his brother. But I think that Almakhan, he needs to go back to the drawing board if they're going to fight again later on, maybe, because they're 2 really high level fighters. He should realize, like, hey, I need to throw combos and finish with leg kicks. Combos finish with leg kicks. Combos finish with a knee when Topuria's in the high guard ducking down. That's what he should work on. Not trying to overdo things, as in I'm gonna throw hard a single uppercut hard. No, just fight your game and do what you're doing best, which is throwing combinations, going forward or trying to go forward. That's what you do best, and that's what he should have kept doing. But next we have Yakhyaev versus Cerqueira. Cerqueira is a meme fighter, right? This guy's not a real person. Okay, he is not a real person. I mean, this guy is the Chris Moutinho. He's the Weston Wilson. He's those guys of the light heavyweight division. He'll still continue to have a job here because they want to build up these fighters on Cerqueira. It's not his name, but the highlight reel, right? It looks good on the highlight. Yakhyaev just went out there with no respect. Minus 3,000 favorite, as you see there. Had a head kick, knocked him down. Cerqueira didn't even land a blow. Didn't land a strike. He might be the worst fighter in the UFC 2025. Him or Moutinho or one of those guys, but he might be worse than Moutinho. Yakhyaev, he did what he's supposed to do. Finish him in the first round, first 33 seconds. A lot of people had under half a round, which is 2.5 minutes. And yeah, he finished in less than 2.5 minutes. You had 2 minutes to spare, actually. So Yakhyaev, I mean, I don't know what to take by the performance, right? Because I think Cerqueira is just that bad. So I don't know what to take out of it. But he looked good. I guess he's supposed to do what he's supposed to do, which is finish him. Next is Perez versus Almabayev. I'm very pissed off because I said Alex Perez was going to win this fight. And I was right until I was wrong. Alex Perez was winning this fight. He was up 2 rounds. Almabayev had nothing for him. He was throwing a nice uppercut when Alex Perez was dipping down. Yes, but Alex Perez was pushing the pace, stuffing every takedown. He was fighting very well, taking him down. And Alex Perez he got wobbled by a wheel kick in the 3rd round and then shot for a takedown with his head on the outside on a double leg and then just got choked out, got guillotined. It was nice by Almabayev. It was very, very pretty to watch. But again, I don't think that Almabayev is a great contender in this division. I think he's just too small. I don't think his striking is good enough. I don't think he has enough power in his hands. I think Alex Perez is like on his last legs as a fighter, and Alex Perez was dominating that fight until he wasn't. I think he was a minus 700 favorite at one point, going into the 3rd round. But I'll take Alex Perez. I took Alex Perez, and I would take him again if they fought. I mean, I think he was just the better fighter. I think he got caught with that wheel kick and then became a panic wrestler and shot for a takedown. But it happened. That's fighting, right? I mean, good money for the plus 180 on Alex Perez. Next, Nicholas Dalby versus Izagakhmaev. Izagakhmaev is supposed to be Islam's main training partner. He's a 170er, right? He's trained with him all 3 rounds. They were hyping him up hard. He fought at one championship, fought Shinya Aoki. He was supposed to be this good fighter. And Nicholas Dalby won this fight allegedly. I don't know how. I didn't think he won this fight. I thought Izagakhmaev won this fight. I thought he won the first 2 rounds. I thought the control time in the first 2 rounds was key. Um, he was fighting better than Nicholas Dalby in the first 2 rounds until he got tired. You could tell that he was the better fighter. Nicholas Dalby just has really, really good heart. He's very durable, but I honestly believe that Izagakhmaev won. Let me check what MMA decision the media thought. I didn't even look that at all. They probably thought that Izagakhmaev won too, because I thought he won. Oh nope, they thought Dalby won. I thought Izagakhmaev won, but I didn't bet on it, so I really didn't have a play. But I thought he won. I thought it was gonna be a decision fight, but yeah, I mean Nicholas Dalby. I mean he proves it. He proves it that he's durable, and if you don't have gas, you're gonna lose. So Nicholas Dalby, even though coming off that Randy Brown loss, he got it done. Next is Bogdan Grad versus Riley. So I said Riley's really bad, right? But I also took Riley to win this fight. I said he's gonna win by KO. I put money on him to win by KO, right? I hit this sick parlay, $500 to win $4 grand on him to win by KO. And Bogdan Grad, I said Riley's not that good, right? I said he's not that good. His wrestling is really bad. He has decent striking, but Bogdan Grad is just really, really bad at fighting. He's really bad. He has no talent at all. He's a hard worker, but with no talent. He doesn't have good timing. He has nice takedowns, but he doesn't have good timing. He doesn't have anything that's really good. And Lucas Riley, I think it's Lucas, right? Am I crazy? I keep calling him Lucas Riley. Luke Riley. Yeah, Luke Riley was the better fighter in the second round and knocked him out after stuffing a takedown, right? He stuffed a takedown, knocked him out afterwards, and then Bogdan Grad basically got finished. I mean, it's slim pickings for Luke Riley. I mean, you want to build him up because he's a Paddy Pimblett. He's part of that Paddy Pimblett team at Next Gen in Liverpool, but is he a good fighter? I don't know. I don't think so. But Bogdan Grad, I mean, he lost again. He lost versus Naimov. He just beat somebody though, right? He beat Lucas Alexander and lost Naimov. Yeah, Lucas Alexander lost Naimov. And that's unfortunate, but whatever. He's not that talented, so maybe he should be in the UFC. Next is Horiguichi versus Ulanbekov. Ulanbekov was the favorite here. I thought this fight would go to decision. I didn't know who was going to win. I thought Ulanbekov might have been too big for him, but Horiguichi was looking really fast. And you know what I realized? These Ryzen guys, these Japanese, these guys are really fast. Because when I watched them in Ryzen, I'm like, this guy's not that fast. But I'm watching against other Japanese fighters who are just as fast as him. But when I watch him versus Ulanbekov, a long rangy 125er that should be like a 145er, he was too slow. And Horiguchi was running circles around him. Too strong, too slow. I mean, he controlled him. He took him, he knocked him down. He submitted him. Horiguchi got Ulanbekov tried to submit him with a guillotine. Didn't work. Horiguchi got out of it pretty quickly. Horiguchi was just a better fighter, landing the two, setting with a high kick beautifully. I mean, he fought really well. I mean, that he reminded everybody why Horiguchi was at the top of Bellator, why he was at the top of Ryzen, why he was at the top of the UFC at the time, right? He lost to Demetrius Johnson. That was the only loss in the UFC prior to that point was to Demetrius Johnson. Horiguchi's a very good fighter. He knocked down Ulanbekov twice, by the way. He called out Alexander Pantoja, his teammate at ATT, at American Top Team. He called him out. Great fight. I would love to watch that fight. Alexander Pantoja was I guess Horiguchi was fighting at 135 over there because he fought Patchy Mix, and Patchy Mix took him down. But he is athletic. If you want an athletic, elusive fighter, it's Horiguchi. Him versus Pantoja would be a sick fight, but Pantoja is fighting Joshua Van, and he should win that fight, Pantoja, because Joshua Van is kind of maybe too young right now. But I'll take Horiguchi versus Pantoja next. I mean, who else is Pantoja going to fight? He already fought Royval. He fought Moreno. He fought Kai Kara, who's on a hiatus. He fought Urseg. He's fought most of the contenders already. Abazi's on a loss, I think. So he's fought everybody, right? So who is he going to fight? So I gotta put Horiguchi versus Pantoja next, right? You got to do it. Next is Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Shamil Gaziev. Shamil Gaziev was supposed to fight Sergey Spivak. Late notice fight, right? Like 2 days. Waldo, where's Waldo? Came in on short notice and KO'd Shamil Gaziev. The hand speed was just too much. That he was just so much faster. His hand speed was so much faster. Gaziev tried to throw these lumbering, lumbering shots against Waldo. Waldo's like fucking slipping, fucking boom, two right down the pipe, rocks him, knocks him down first. He gets Shamil Gaziev shoots a takedown when he's on the ground. They get back up. Cortez Acosta lands another 2. Boom. Waldo freaking finishes him. He's calling for Curtis Blades. He's calling for a title shot. Give him Curtis Blades. I think that's a good fight. I don't think he's there yet because Pavlovich just beat him this year, and Pavlovich should be ahead of him, right? Even though that will be a rematch for Tom Aspinall, but I think that Waldo versus Curtis Blades is a good fight. Shamil Gaziev needs to go back to the drawing board. He needs, maybe lose weight. I don't know. He's not bad. He's not a bad heavyweight. He's just not elite, right? He's not elite heavyweight. He's like a top 7 or 8 heavyweight, right? Next, Jack Hermansson versus Murtabek Orolbai. I said Murtabek Orolbai is going to smash Jack Hermansson. I put a bet on Murtabek Orolbai by KO by inside distance. And I said Jack Hermansson's 36 years old, 37 years old, trying to drop down 15 pounds off a vicious KO last time versus Gregory Rodriguez. There's no way to hell this guy's going to be healthy. And he looked healthy on the scale, but was he healthy mentally? His chin was healthy? No, absolutely not. He wasn't there. And Jack Hermansson was skirting along the outside. Orolbai was like, fuck you. I'm going to throw some bombs, some haymakers. I'm going to throw just no technique twos, right? No technique at all. Landing him, though. Jack Hermansson finally got stung to the back of the ear, got knocked out flat, cold. And it was sad to see because Jack Hermansson is actually a good fighter, but it might be time to hang it up for him. Murtabek Orolbai gets the KO win. And yeah, he wins. Next is Oezdemir versus Menifield. This fight was easy to talk about because I said Oezdemir is going to KO this guy in the first round, and he did it. I said Oezdemir is just too good. You cannot Menifield. What's Menifield good at? He's quote unquote a power puncher. Not really. Backs up too much. He's like Tyron Woodley without the power. That's what I basically believe. Look at Oezdemir is when he's going forward, he's at his best, and he's pushing the pace. He's at his best. He's picking shots. He's at his best. And everything that Alonzo Menifield was doing was when Volkan Oezdemir was basically doing it at his best, right? Alonzo Menifield was trying to slip on the cage, slip and freaking play Muhammad Ali on the cage. Didn't work out. Volkan Ozdemir's like, okay, whatever, fuck you, I'll kill you right now. And Oezdemir basically did. He flatline KO'd him, and it was bad. What else is there to talk about with Volkan Oezdemir? He should be fighting Azamat Mirzakhanov next, right? Because Mirzakhanov just called out Hill. Hill basically said, I'm not going to fight until I'm fully healthy. And Mirzakhanov basically said, no way. I'm not going to wait till that. I don't know when you're healthy. You don't run my schedule. I'll fight Volkan Oezdemir. That's basically it. Bilal Muhammad versus Eden Machado Garry. Bilal Muhammad, I thought it was 28-29. I thought Bilal Muhammad won the first round. I thought he won the first round, but I could see 30-27. I'm not really mad at that scorecard either. Machado Garry, I mean, that oblique kick to the knee was gorgeous. I mean, that's basically what it is. It was gorgeous. He's a good fighter, but he's a bitch. He's just a bitch. I don't like him. What did the things he says, what he did to Hamzat when he's grabbing his trap. I hate it. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to like aura farm? Why are you trying to get content for yourself? Why are you trying to be weird? Don't do that stuff. Like, just be yourself. The thing is, I don't know if he knows how to be himself, but whatever. Bilal Muhammad was too slow. Eden Machado was way too fast from angling out beautifully. I think Muhammad struggles with taller fighters because he fights compact and he's jabbing up, so he lifts his chin up. So I think that it's not a good matchup for him to fight a lot taller fighters like that. Like 4-inch might be too much for him. So I don't know who else to maybe match him up with, but I think that he's a good fighter. I think he's is he out of his prime, Bilal Muhammad? I don't know yet. We have to see him against maybe a lesser contender like a Gabriel Bonfim. But Eden Machado Garry, should he get the title shot next? Absolutely not. Do not give him a title shot. Do not give him a title shot. Kamaru Usman versus Islam Makhachev. Ian Garry versus Michael Morales. That's the way to make it. That's the best way to match make that welterweight division. You need to do Kamaru versus Islam because that's a legacy fight for Islam. And if Islam wants it, then he should get that fight. Next, we talk about this main event, Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker basically was no match for him, right? I thought Bilal Muhammad was going to win, first of all. That was my prediction. Arman Tsarukyan, was just too much, dominated Dan Hooker. I mean, did anyone really thought Dan Hooker had a chance in hell? If you did, you were just wishing on a star because Arman Tsarukyan has better striking, better boxing, better kicking. He's better than him everywhere. And I don't know how he was supposed to lose. He's faster and better grappling, better jiu-jitsu. And he's been doing jiu-jitsu tournaments. I said he was going to submit him because he's been doing a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments, and he ended up submitting him at plus 300 if you took that. But Tsarukyan could have done whatever he wanted to him. I mean, if they fought 10 times, I think he wins 10 times. He wins 10 times. I think that's just the truth. I think he's just that much better than him. And he got 2 takedowns on him, controlled him for the whole round. Got another takedown on him, mounted him at one point, even though Dan Hooker in the second round was trying to stop the mount, right? He was for a while, then he finally succumbed and gave up the mount. But Tsarukyan definitely deserves a title shot next. The thing is, I don't know if he'll be Ilya's next opponent, but Tsarukyan should maybe wait like 6 months, 7 months. I know he's been waiting a long time already, but I think they're going to do Paddy Pimblett versus Ilya. I think that's the fight to make in January, but Tsarukyan should be next after that, fighting Ilya or Paddy Pimblett, because he deserves it. I mean, he beat Charles Oliveira. He beat all these good guys. How does he not deserve it? He's a good fighter. So I'll take you have to take Tsarukyan as the next challenger, as his next opponent to be the world champion. I think that's just fair. Dan Hooker should be maybe fighting money fights, as in BMF titles and stuff like that, not fighting contenders. But he's fighting contenders, fight lower ranked contenders like the Grant Dawsons and stuff like that. Because I mean, that's basically his career is basically over as a championship threat. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe. Thank you.